Aries man, stop texting. In every relationship, you should always be on the lookout for warning signs. Men with the zodiac sign of Aries are typically like other men who have displayed signs of apathy, rage, or something being wrong. It's up to you to assess whether it is possible that he has either cheated or been cheated. When you take a long, hard look at how things have been lately, you should notice that he is much more distant, or even angry, than he has been previously. When males from the zodiac sign of Aries become upset, they tend to go off the handle. First, they become furious, and then, if they have sufficiently worked through their emotions, they will ask questions. When you persist in pestering him to give you answers, you could annoy him or perhaps make him give up communicating altogether. Maybe he's being a bit icier with you. It seems like he's always going out with friends, or he's always distracted by his phone since he seems to be constantly texting or on social networking sites rather than paying attention to you. It can be concluded that something is obviously wrong if this is the case. You should be able to spot the red flags, which will allow you to better comprehend his conduct. Once you grasp the intricacies of that, you will know whether or not he is just upset or whether he has genuinely stopped having a relationship with you. Does he have any anger issues? In this situation, if all he says is that he is having a temper tantrum and demanding that you get rid of his phone number, he probably isn't really serious. It's not his fault he's unhappy. That's just how he's feeling, and so he'll lash out to get you to feel bad about it. It is rather traditional to tell someone off when you are angry with them. At that moment, they feel that they have given you everything and that they no longer want anything else from you. On the other hand, once they have cooled down, they will probably want to talk to you and keep on. If it turns out he is really angry about something, this will definitely be impacted by what it is he's angry about. It will depend on whether it was something you did that you shouldn't have and it betrayed his trust, or something you did that he exaggerated to the point of ridiculousness. He might regret blowing the situation out of proportion. Then, he will determine what he is wrong about and then work to correct it. While under stress, people of the Aries personality type will blurt out statements like "I despise you" or "I've never loved you" when they're engaged. Even if they actually believe it, it doesn't mean anything. Their emotions have overwhelmed them, so they have done the only thing they know how to do, striking out and reacting the only way they know how. An Aries man who does not notice your existence to compulsively spend time on his phone, or who takes a protective posture around his phone, could be trying to hide someone or something from you. It is vital to take note of whether he is this way or not. If he starts to see other people, you will start to talk to her more and more, which means he'll begin to ignore you, and when he eventually ends it. Of course, if he feels as though the relationship was horrible with you, this will be when he'll tell you to never call him again as well. Has it really gotten this far? You might be right. Perhaps he is actually in love with someone else and is afraid that you will never understand. When he begins to suspect that you have not truly gotten his signals, he will turn impatient with you and start demanding that you stop calling him. Sometimes, for some people, this is one of the most difficult red flags to wrap their heads around. The very last thing anyone wants to do is to acknowledge defeat or accept that the person they love no longer desires a long-term relationship or romantic connection with them. To keep your options open, make sure you are aware that seeing these indicators suggests he has already chosen to leave you. That is, he's not as interested in you as you think he is. If an Aries man has lost interest in you, sometimes he will say mean things in order to get you to move on. The fact that they are difficult to end a relationship is their most noticeable weakness. He somehow feels as though he's not mean, you won't see things the right way and will try to hold on to him. He definitely doesn't like having to deal with that sort of thing, so he tries to avoid it by saying bad things such as "let's get you gone." Prior to this, review your past and try to determine whether there was a period when he distanced himself from you or gave the impression that he didn't want to spend time with you. You're going to have to let this go because you didn't stick to the measures you set in place. You should stop now because you missed the final red flag. It was important to him to make sure that you understood that he is no longer available, therefore he had a good reason for being more explicit in making sure that you know this. There's no way you can return to his good graces. Overall, becoming involved with these kinds of matters is never a pleasant experience. However, an Aries man will often be straightforward with what he wants. As I mentioned before, if you are able to identify the red flags I've shown you, you will know where he might fit in. Once you find out if you still have a shot with him, you'll have a better idea of whether or not you should give up on him or whether you should hold on to him longer. It is probable that he is with someone else or that he no longer cares. In that case, you will have to end the relationship. Aries does not make concessions when it comes to what they desire. Anything less is unacceptable to them. But, if it is the case that he is simply incensed, you may require some time to calm down. In order to get to know the Aries man better, you may find it advantageous to study more about him. Don't forget to like our video.